Welcome to Eclectic Selections, the human music recommendation service. My name is Liam Flanagan and I'll be your musical guide recommending you the best in music, wherever and whenever it came from. You're currently watching our Eclectic Extra series where once a month I'm going to be discussing a music recommendation as a bonus for all of our followers across the internet. So now it's time to go over to either my past or my future self and see what recommendation I have for us. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Eclectic Extra, where we'll be looking at an album from the early noughties again. Yep, bit of a theme going on with these. I'm on a secret mission to reframe the music of the early noughties because it does get a lot of bashing, that era, the late 90s, the early noughties. There was no Britpop, there was no grunge, there was no rave, there was no punk, there was no major youth movements or scenes. There was a lot of music coming out and it was all very disparate. But in amongst it all, there was some great music coming out. And while it isn't the express concern of this series or anything else that Eclectic Selections puts out, there is a little bit of me that's like, yeah, I'm going to put an early noughties thing on this podcast. Or yeah, I'm going to do an episode on an early noughties album because I feel like there's a lot of underappreciated music from that era. Today's album is Presidential Suite by Gonzalez. Who is Gonzalez, I hear you ask? Well, Gonzalez is Canadian-born pianist, music producer, and MC Chili Gonzalez. That's another name that he has used over the years as his artistic name. His real name is Jason Charles Beck. And in 1999, he moved to Berlin, Germany. It was a decision that would change his life and his music forever. In the year 2000, he released his debut album, Gonzalez Uberales, and its follow-up, The Entertainist. The debut was full of whimsy and balladry, while The Entertainist was a Berlin take on the current commercial hip-hop sound, but with a madcap sense of humor and a DIY delivery and production. It was the album that we're talking about today, Presidential Suite, that would bring those two things together. So when he arrived in Berlin, Gonzalez quickly befriended a selection of other Canadian expats, including indie pop singer-songwriter Feist, Electro Queen, Peaches, Blue-Eyed Soul singer Mocky, and the mysterious Taylor Savvy. All of these musicians ended up working together in one shape or form over the years. Gonzalez was heavily involved in Peaches and Feist's early music careers, assisting as a musician and songwriter. So now on to the album itself, Presidential Suite. So by this point in time, in 2002, he has declared himself, tongue firmly in cheek, as the president of the Berlin Underground. I really wanted to use this quote from playlouder.com because I think it does sum it up quite nicely. The great Gonzo's first pop album, a record such sparkling joy that it makes S Club Junior's single look like Tom York's Suicide Poems. Gonzo fans will be aware of his repertoire since European electro, whimsy, piano, and balladry were all stirred and twisted on his full-length debut, Uberales, while digital, hardcore hip-hop, mop-style craziness, and Snoop-derived rhyme patterns were all messed up on the classic The Entertainist. And here, as we hoped, the two meet. So it's a satirical hip-hop album with significant electro influences across its 15 tracks. The quality never drops. And there are instrumentals that hint at Gonzalez's future as Chili Gonzalez, the solo pianist. The music and Gonzalez's flow keep the party going, from the symphonic click house schemes of variations to the sleazy Prince-style funk of 1,000 Faces. There's also the soaring lounge music of Starlight and the stripped-down electro bangers throughout, featuring his Berlin Co. Lyrically, the album is unapologetically smart and hilarious, sending up celebrity culture, consumerism, and those who want to climb the ladder of fame and fortune in vain. Some lyrical observations are ahead of their time, considering the album was released 20 years ago. He's foreshadowing many things that we now see in our daily lives, the rise and the nature of reality television, which was a relatively new phenomenon in 2002. I've read a lot about Gonzalez and Peaches bringing the fun back to hip-hop in the early noughties, and while I can't say I disagree with that idea, however, the idea that the album lacks substance, in my opinion, that's false. Sure, I'm not going to say the album is one that you should go to for deep political analysis or spiritual or emotional reflection, but as I've said before, it's smart, it's witty, it's ahead of its time with its commentary. If that doesn't do it for you, no problem, because the music is great start to finish and you'll be singing the choruses in no time. So what happened next to Gonzalez? What happened in the next phase of his career, the second phase of his career? He continued to work on music, both in his solo career and working with the likes of Bjork, Iggy Pop, Daft Punk, and Drake in the last 20 years. I don't know how that happened, but he's worked with Drake. However, there was one significant change that he has undergone in the last 20 years. By 2004, he had abandoned hip-hop and he focused instead on his piano playing and songwriting. Since then, he's created a catalogue that includes a classical piano album, pop albums and singles. That's pop in the Beatles/Beach Boys sense of the word, and a popular Christmas album. So in conclusion, if Gonzalez is anything, he's a chameleon. He is able to switch from solo artist to piano player to songwriter and collaborator, all at the drop of a hat. It's probably why he's had such a long and successful career that could have stopped dead when he stopped cracking the jokes and rapping. However, for me, he'll always be the MC who gets under people's skin while rocking the party, that doesn't take himself too seriously while possessing serious rhymes and flow. It's time to recognize this artist's considerable talent. Go check out the album in the description below. Thank you all for watching this video. If you want to support Eclectic Selections and join our community, there are various ways that you can do that. Number one, you can like, comment, and subscribe right here on YouTube. This helps our video get noticed by the YouTube algorithm, and it helps other music lovers like you find great music. You can, two, follow us over on Twitter. Here you'll get the latest news and you'll get extra recommendations. You'll be able to keep up to date with everything Eclectic Selections. You can join our Ko-fi. It's just like Patreon, so you can support us and you'll get access to extra content like private playlists, extra video recommendations from our guests, all that good stuff. And there's more coming in the future. Join our Discord community where you can chat with other music lovers and myself about music and other subjects too. All the links for all of that down in the description in our link tree. Thanks again for watching, and until next Thursday, keep it eclectic.